figure this out. Looks like we are live.
Okay, I've officially gone live, even though you guys couldn't hear me.
I don't know if you could hear us or see us, but we're live now. We are trying to get it together because this is our second show and we are just kind of winging it. But welcome everybody. So glad you're here. We're super excited about this. We've got to get Tina up and we're going to figure that out.
Why don't you read out the ground rules, babe?
Well, we just decided, since our last one kind of went wild after about an hour, so we decided an hour is too long. We're probably not going to talk that long, and we'd like to stay on topic, and just hopefully kind of keep it mainly about respectful for sure in the stream and in the chat for sure. Be kind to everybody, to be kind to each other, and we just want to kind of keep it tight with respect to the topics that we're discussing tonight, and hopefully not get on any wild tangents. That's pretty much it. I guess please forgive me because I'm going to look at some notes. Again, I'm not a pro. This is not my day job.
I gotta send a link out too. So hold on a second.
So tonight, I wanted to talk about Lindsay Clancy. So she is a child and delivery nurse in Massachusetts, and her husband, I believe, has a law degree and works for a firm with housing and development. I'm not that sure what he does. I didn't really deep dive into him at all. They had 3 beautiful children. So they had Cora, who was 5. They had Dawson, who was 3. And they had a 7-month-old named Callan. And Lindsay, and they live in Massachusetts. And Lindsay was on maternity leave. Her baby was 7 months old. And as far as anybody in their friend and family circle knew, she was stable. She was appropriate. She was normal. She didn't seem like she was on medication. She loved her family and her friends and her coworkers, and everybody had only nice things to say about her. However, it turns out that she was suffering from postpartum depression, and she was on a number of
psychosis.
Well, that's up for debate. They definitely said postpartum depression. The postpartum psychosis part is not confirmed, but 2 of the medications we know she was taking were Seroquel and a benzodiazepine. So both of those are pretty strong, and if you're taking them often, you know, you get some tolerance to them, but taking them together can definitely make you feel weird. And there was some history of her being suicidal, but she was aware of those thoughts, and she would tell her husband when she was having suicidal thoughts. And things seemed okay. On January 24th, normal day, she actually took her daughter to the doctor that morning. She called the pharmacy. She needed a prescription for her kids. Her husband worked from home and in the basement of their home. And the discussions with the pediatrician's office and the pharmacy, they said, you know, she called and did things, you know, showed up to the appointment, called the pharmacy, and everybody said she was normal, she was coherent, she made sense, she was acting appropriately. And towards the end of the day, so around 5 o'clock, she says to her husband, you know, hey, can you go do some errands and go pick up some dinner? And sure, totally normal request. She seemed fine. And there is evidence that she mapped out the driving time to the restaurant So round trip to the pharmacy, restaurant, and back was probably 30 plus minutes. So her husband leaves, goes to the pharmacy first, and calls because there was an issue at the pharmacy, and Lindsay doesn't answer. And then he called back a few minutes later, and she did answer, and they discussed what medication to pick up, and that phone call was totally normal. Her husband goes to the restaurant, picks up their order, comes back, and the first thing he notices is that the house is quiet. So he's wondering, where are my 3 kids and my wife? Like, this is a noisy household. And so he calls, and I believe Lindsay answered, and she was outside in the backyard because she had jumped out her 2nd-story window. This is after strangling her 5-year-old, her 3-year-old, and her 7-month-old with her exercise bands. And the youngest was in the basement. So her husband runs out. Sorry about the noise. Her husband runs outside and finds Lindsay. Hey, Mab, stop making noise. Excuse me.
Sorry, I had to put my headphones back on. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties.
Sorry. Okay. Honey, you need to be quiet and sit still.
Well, I had to get a soda and my headphones were tangled up. So I should have unplugged them, untangled them, and then put them back in, but I didn't. So you probably got some noise there.
It's still really noisy though. Okay, anyway, lesson learned. You know what? Those headphones aren't gonna work. You gotta hold it really still. It's too loud.
I'm too loud?
Yeah, the headphones are giving a lot of interference.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's a lot better. Thank you. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so Lindsay's husband finds her in the backyard, and she's got some cuts and bruises, but she's conscious. And first thing he says is, where are my children? And she said, they're in the basement. So he had called 911 already for Lindsay, runs down to the basement, sees his kids. There's actually a little bit of stuff that happened in between. I think he went into the bedroom looking for them, and he saw blood. So went down to the basement, found his 3 babies. Ambulance was on the way. The first thing he had the ambulance do is check on his children. So Cora, the 5-year-old, Dawson, the 3-year-old, were brought by ambulance to Massachusetts General, where they were pronounced unalive. And the 7-month-old was still breathing at the time, and so they sent him by helicopter to another hospital where he was on life support for a few days. They managed to get his heart back, but they couldn't get any brain activity. So he didn't make it either, and Lindsay was arrested. She broke her spine in a number of places, and she broke some ribs. So this all happened in January. So she is currently in a facility called Tewksbury State Hospital, and that's in Massachusetts. So she was brought there, and she's been kept there this whole time. There's been a couple of hearings via audio or video court appearances by her, and the charges against her are 2 charges of homicide, which this is where I have questions. Why not 3? Because all 3 of her children are no longer with us. She has 3 charges of strangulation and assault and battery with a deadly weapon. So my question kind of is, why weren't new charges added when her 3rd child left us. And, you know, she's not in jail. The judge said that she could stay at this state hospital. She was also confined to a psychiatric hospital for mental evaluation. And what the lawyers are saying, the prosecution is saying she was fine, that this was premeditated because she sent her husband out, and that based on all the interactions she had that day, that she was perfectly fine. Her husband is saying she was on multiple medications. She had, at minimum, postpartum depression, if not postpartum psychosis. And she had actually turned herself in to a psychiatric facility for 5-day inpatient because she knew that she was not well. And they released her saying after 5 days that she was fit to go home, apparently. So they're trying to get this case settled by a plea deal versus a trial. And their ultimate goal is to get her like in a facility with like an ankle monitor so she can go to her medical appointments and things like that, but basically house arrest for 3 murders. Her latest hearing was in July, and I couldn't get any information on it. So that is, that's really all I know. Her husband did set up I don't know if it was a GoFundMe, but it was some kind of a fund to help him with all of these costs. And he's already raised over $1 million for medical and legal fees. But yeah, I mean, I have some things to say about postpartum depression, psychosis. I actually don't have my own children, but I know a coworker had it, and she had twins, 2 boys, and she was literally afraid that she was going to unalive them because she was so frustrated and so overwhelmed that she would have her mother come over and be with her babies because she just couldn't handle it. And it was part of postpartum depression. So, you know, Lindsay's baby was 7 months old and she was suffering, and I just don't think there's enough information out there, or doctors just don't take it seriously, because they just loaded her up on drugs and sent her on her way, and this is what happened. Another article I read said that she was hearing voices and that she heard a man's voice say that she needed to unalive her children and this was going to be her only chance. So,
wow.
Yeah. And it just sort of, you know, we all heard about it in January and then nothing. So what do you guys think about this? What do you think about her not being in jail, even though she's paralyzed from the waist down? Opinion?
160 viewers. Awesome.
I'm going to step away for just a sec.
We're going to bring Paper Cut Tina up, but I don't see her in here. I emailed her the link because she has a story about the Chicago drownings.
I can't see any of the chat.
Get it on the phone.
And I can't see to bring anybody up.
No, I can see it. We're working it out, folks. Yes, Mrs MAB is awesome.
Actually,
she's going to be an integral part of this channel.
I'm obviously on a different computer with less access than Mr. MAB has. So I'm going to kind of turn it back over to him to communicate with you guys and bring somebody up if somebody wants to pipe in on this. I don't have access on my computer for that.
I just dropped a link. Anybody wants to come up? Huntress, Donna, Zircon, somebody. Paper Cut was supposed to be in here, but I don't see her.
Well, sorry guys, I'm trying to get access to some of these comments here, and I don't have them.
Let's go to YouTube on your phone. Look up MAB Investigates.
All right, Mr. MAB, I'm going to step aside and sorry guys.
I am.
I don't know what that
a little bit
was.
early. So, okay, I sent you a link on email. Yeah.
I'm sorry, you guys.
Yeah. Well, I've been up 16 minutes. I know, I got messed up. Come up and join us. Just me and Mrs MAB. All right, bye. Sorry about that. Who's this?
I think it's me. I'm trying to get out of here.
I got you. Oh, you got it on your phone too?
I can't get it off my phone. Sorry, guys. Can't fix it. That's not how you do it.
Turn your sound down if you want to hear some comments.
That's not how mine works. All right, guys. Sorry about that. We are definitely still figuring all this out.
Paper Cut
Hi,
Tina.
Tina. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I'm late. Hi. I wasn't
right.
late on purpose. We'll just say that. How's California? Is it as hot over there as it is here? Good grief.
No, it's about 75, 80 in the day, and then about 65 at night.
I think it was 85, 90 here. My daughter got a haircut. We rode our bikes. We were like walking them up partway up hills. I used to be able to just tough it out. My heart was beating really fast. But yeah, so I haven't seen the thumbnail or anything. Did you guys put up what we're going to talk about, or? Nice.
No. Hi.
Oh. Hi. Did Mrs. MAB, what did you guys talk about already?
Mrs. MAB went over the Lindsay Clancy case.
All right.
Hey, Tina. Sorry, I talked about Lindsay Clancy, so
That's
I actually
cool.
just finished my little spiel, and but my computer is kind of lacking, so I don't see anybody in the studio or any comments, or I don't see anything on my computer. So we were trying to work that out, and here you are, thank goodness. So we can segue into what you wanted to discuss. So
Yeah.
the floor is yours, my dear.
Oh, well, what I want to say, and I'm just saying I was waiting for a phone call.
I know.
Okay, just so you know, because I don't want to be late. I don't want.
We thought we weren't live, and we were preparing to go, and the chat was like, "We can hear you." So I just went ahead and started.
That's funny. So you can see people in chat, MAB.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't. Mrs. MAB can't.
I can't.
You gotta
So
have two
I just
devices.
went for it, and your timing is actually perfect because I was done, and we were talking about what you were going to talk about next. So you can go ahead and talk about it. Oh, just
Oh,
I
go
like
ahead.
your kitty condo in the back.
My kitty condo?
You have a little kitty.
Oh, the cat tree.
Yeah,
Oops.
that one. Yep.
It used to be in the living room, but I had to keep one of the cats in here after it got fixed away from the other cats for a while, and I didn't want him to be too. But he climbed that thing with the big thing.
Oh my gosh.
Well, so what I did, thanks for having me again, you guys. What I did was, because I have tremors and notes and everything, but I did take some notes. I didn't cover a lot, but I got a gist of what's happening. And have you guys discussed it at all?
Not at all.
What do we call it? The possible serial killings of waterways of Chicago? Like, that's too long. I don't know.
Whatever you want to call it. Honestly, I haven't heard about it. So whatever you tell us is going to be news to me.
Okay. All right. I'll read what I wrote. It's not a ton. It's probably, honestly, about 5 minutes worth, if
Perfect.
that. And then we can just chit chat or whatever you want to do.
That sounds perfect.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I thought, what did I say before? 13 bodies? It's more than that.
Really?
18, right?
Yeah, it's 18. I might have said 13, but I can't remember an hour and a half ago very well. So it's 12 people in the Chicago River, 6 bodies in Lake Michigan. 4 of the victims have not been identified. These are strictly just notes.
Okay.
12 men, 6 women. And I thought it was all men all this time. When people were kind of talking about it, I just thought it was men. All right. Let's see. One man is 80 years old.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Another man, the one I wrote down, Norman Walton, he was 63. And I thought he was the oldest. And then I'll pull up the picture, or maybe Mab wants to, the one I sent on Messenger of only part of the victims.
I don't know how to pull up pictures yet.
Maybe we'll get that next time.
You guys are so funny. Is our little thumbnail up there with all 3 of our faces?
It was up there, yeah.
That's cool.
Yep.
I think it's pretty good. I mean,
it is pretty good.
But it was funny because I thought the orange trees looked like the fall, like leaves. I was more for like round. All right. So anyway, and I'm not complaining, Maggie, if you ever see this. All right. 18 people found in the waterways. Okay. Now this is the other thing. The 63-year-old male, Norman Walton, his truck was missing. So some people are trying to say, right, that people are jumping in the rivers and unaliving themselves, right? But his truck
Tina,
is
do you have
missing.
some background noise going on there?
My fan, and I thought I turned this one off. There. Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you sure it's better? Because I have another one I can turn off, but then I might melt in here.
No, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So Norman Walton's truck is missing. The girlfriend's very upset. And the police are downplaying all of this, you guys. I don't know if they just don't want to scare people, but they don't want to think this is possibly a serial killer. But an FBI agent lady, and I forgot to write her name down, said there's too many coincidences, right? There's just too many.
Did they drown? Did they drown?
No. Yeah, there's some undetermined, and there's drowning, and there's when I pull up the picture thing, I'll show you which ones they say or that they are.
Okay.
Now, somebody was mentioning the smiley face killer, and I mean, I just thought that was like from the 90s and a different serial killer. Did
I
you
don't know.
guys, or did you, Matt? I've heard of it. Him.
What? Who?
The smiley face killer?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Now, so why are they, okay, so this is what it said that I read. They said that the smiley face killer was able to pinpoint which missing men will end up deceased in the waterways. So there's someone out there pretending to be another smiley face killer.
Ah, got a
And is
copycat.
posting things. Yeah, posting things and saying this person's going to go missing and this. I just couldn't believe it when I read that. But that's what I read. The very latest victim is Noah Enos. He's 26. He was a restaurant worker. And the family is raising funds to do their own investigation. A vigil was held for him at the music venue. I think it's called The Shed, recently. Or yeah, a few days ago. Sorry, I'm not very, I should have written it down, but I think it was a couple days ago. And my cats are opening my door. Gosh,
So did they find everybody at once, or has this been going on for a long time? Or okay, because I haven't heard of it at all.
yes, it started, the bodies were coming up in the Michigan Lake and the Chicago River since last year, March of
Oh,
2022.
so
Yep,
they've
I forgot
kind
to
of,
say that part.
What's the
So they
time
kinda
span
kept-
between the first and the last?
these questions are too hard.
Well,
So
no, I can tell you the first one would be March 2022, and the latest victim was Noah Enos, and that was here in
oh,
July, like a week ago or something. And then the most baffling is that a young couple, and I'll have their picture on here, washed up, passed away, whatever, deceased in the same lake a month apart,
oh,
which makes me think, and I just thought of this, so I'll just blurt it out. Maybe he killed the man first, kind of hung on to the woman, if you know what I mean, and then did away with her.
oh my
This
gosh.
stuff's so scary. No wonder I'm a helicopter mom. All right.
So they've kind of kept this under wraps this whole time then.
It kind of seems
I mean,
like,
I feel like this
doesn't
is
it?
the first we're hearing of it, and there's what, 18 people?
Yeah, because the police literally are downplaying it. They're trying to say,
They're
oh,
drownings.
Oh,
right, and people come up missing all the time, blah, blah, blah. Very
That's-
quick. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was going to say that's too many.
No, it's way too much.
That's too many.
And the 63-year-old was found, had been at a music venue at the Shed, which I found interesting. And also this young Noah Enos. So when I hear that and think of that, I'm kind of thinking, is he hanging around that music venue? I don't know. But it's Natalie Brookson and Daniel Sotelo. She's 22, he's 26. And that's all the notes I have so far. And I had it right here. And now it's okay, there it is. So
you
I'm
have
going to hold
pictures?
this in. Yes, these are, I thought it was all the victims, right? I just assumed in my brain because when they come up, they're really small, and I was
Okay.
able to pull them up on the other iPad. These are 12. So if 6 were found, was it in the Chicago River? So can you guys see that?
Yeah.
A little
Kathleen
closer.
Martin. tilt
So,
this.
hmm.
So what happened?
That's okay.
Good Lord. Oh, there we go.
And
Okay.
so there's no, they have no suspects. They have nothing, correct?
No, they have nothing. And it says, should I read it out loud quickly? Or, I
The
mean,
names?
yeah.
No.
All right. But I'll read the ages. How about that?
Yeah.
We got a 49-year-old woman in March of 2022, an 80-year-old, well, we don't know if it's a man or woman, do we? Youette. Maybe it's a man. In April of 22. There's Natalie Brookson, who's 22. In May of 22. And then, wait, I wasn't supposed to read the names. I'm sorry. That I just spaced. A 31-year-old, a 20. There's Danielle Sotelo, right? These
Right.
two were together and found a month apart in the same lake. 34-year-old. And so then you can see how it says drownings, undetermined.
Right.
And then these were the most recent last two young guys.
Okay.
Sorry about my tremors there.
That's okay.
But these are 12. So that means really, really quickly that find pictures of the ones in Lake Michigan. These were the ones in the Chicago River.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I just thought of something. This gives an idea, sort of.
Okay.
Of where, okay, so
the red dots are
the 12
the red
people.
dots.
Okay, so that yellow
Wow.
line must be the Chicago River, I guess.
Oh, so they weren't found necessarily in the river.
No, they
Or were
actually were. Yeah.
They were in
washed
the
up
river.
on the side or in the river or just floating. Yeah, but these ones over here, right,
Uh-huh.
don't look like they're in the river
I know.
unless it goes out a little. But the Waukegan Harbor, so yeah, apparently it's the Waukegan Harbor in Chicago. I don't know, sounds pretty suspicious, right?
It's very suspicious.
Yeah.
And just the fact that they're not connecting this, I mean, that's just too many people. It's not a coincidence that all these people have drowned in a year. Come on. And especially
Yeah.
healthy young people.
Yeah. You know, it makes me think kind of that it's someone youngish.
Or more than one person, because that's not easy to get control of somebody and drown them.
Oh, you're right. Well,
unless they're
yeah.
Pardon?
No,
unless they drug them, or because if the cause is drowning, so then they found water in their lungs.
Yes.
So that's
And it was for sure with the couple.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh no.
And
no, it doesn't.
Other like bruising or ligature marks or anything.
I don't know anything about that, but now
okay,
it says undetermined here. Her boyfriend, it says
drowning. Okay.
Oof. Yeah. I'm gonna run and get my soda. Is that okay?
It could be a series of accidents, or it could be a serial killer or two, or a team. I don't know. What do you think, Miss MAB?
I almost feel like it has to be at least two people, unless they're drugging them, because how do you? I mean, a drowning is. I feel like that's a difficult way to go with just one person. It's kind of morbid to think about that.
Right, right.
But how would you, and especially if they're not finding weights or or other injuries on the bodies, then how are they getting him in the water and drowning?
Exactly. And the only way we know if they were drowned, right, is if there's water in the lungs. Isn't that right?
Right. Pretty sure.
All right, I'm going to go grab my soda.
Yeah. That's interesting.
We got 199 watching. We've dropped
Anybody brave enough to
4.
come up and talk?
I'm sure they will. We're getting there.
Okay. Mr. MAB, do you have any comments on either of those cases?
Well, postpartum depression is a real thing because my ex-wife had it.
Okay.
So she couldn't nurse, so I had to basically bond with my daughter by feeding her and getting her to eat for the first time because she couldn't nurse, and she had some pretty psychotic stuff going on in the first 6 months.
Was she on any medication? Well,
Some illegal medication.
prescribed by the doctor?
No.
No. And then did it just pass? Like after 6 months, did she just get better on her own? With the depression. I know there were other issues with her, but I actually didn't know that she had postpartum depression.
Yeah, she got better after about 6 months.
Wow.
I looked.
Go ahead.
I won't talk about what I saw, but I mean, on Facebook to get to know you guys a little better, because, we're friends on Facebook to be in Messenger. I saw, did she freeze? Oh, I saw some beautiful pictures of the ocean and one of your wedding. You guys have been together a long time. I mean, I think, however many.
Happiest day of my life.
Yeah. And MAB looks really different.
That was a good day.
Yeah, I'm not saying any better or any worse. I'm just saying you look like a completely different person without a beard, right? The fuller face, but he wasn't overweight looking at all. So I don't know when that maybe happened.
Well, part of it is just we're older, and part of it's the jaw surgery. I mean, it did change the way he looks a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But you're still just as handsome, so don't worry, MAB.
You probably saw lots of kitty pictures.
I think I did. Yes, I did. The black kitty.
Yep.
And one of his daughter, the 4th of July, right? I think she's doing this and she's younger, very pretty gal. That was neat because I really don't know you guys very well.
True.
I mean, not that we have to know each other, but
I just dropped the link in the chat if anybody wants to come up and chop it up. I'll have like one at a time come up if they want.
That's a good idea. One's almost better than two. Are there very many people in chat tonight?
213.
Wow, you guys,
213.
welcome. Thank you for coming. I apologize for the I don't know how to say it.
Rocky start.
I just lost my word. Dang. Just how kind of unprepared and unprofessional this is. But it is our second show. Our first show was totally a test and went off the rails, but we thought we were a little more prepared tonight, so it is a little bit smoother, but we are still definitely working the kinks out. So
and we do need to get some equipment.
Yeah, we don't have a microphone yet, so obviously we're in different rooms trying to do this. But I appreciate everybody coming to say hello. It's really sweet. Thank you.
It's really cool. I can hear both of you really clearly. Mab's
Oh,
voice is
good.
booming, and it doesn't sound like he's almost whispering, in the other.
Well,
For
that's
me,
good.
anyway. Yeah. Can the chat hear you pretty good, you think?
You guys hear me, chat? Hit a 1 if you can hear me okay.
I wish I could see the chat.
Just Debbie says we look great.
I wanted to say, as far as the case, before anyone comes up, just to let them know or let you guys know that to dig into it more, I'm going to look into the victims' lives more.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, what else really there is to do. So, yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if they put together a task force, or if there's, are they starting to take it more seriously now, or are they still trying to brush it under the rug?
It sounds like brush it under the rug, because the Noah Enos family is hiring a private investigator.
Oh, right.
So they feel like they have to do that, apparently.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wouldn't want to be living in Chicago.
Yeah, for many reasons. It's freezing.
Yeah.
I'm a California girl. I don't think I could ever live in a state where it snows. I grew up 3 miles from the beach pretty much my whole life. So,
wow.
Well, we go up to Lake Tahoe and it snows plenty.
Yeah, but we were there for a week. Different than living there.
Yeah, and Mab, that's right. In your Facebook, you were shredding. I didn't know that it was called shredding.
Oh, right. When we went snowboarding.
Yeah, I didn't know you did that, Mab. In the day or whatever.
I used to.
In the day. Yeah, he's good. I can't snowboard.
You tried it though?
I tried it. I hurt myself. So I'm a skier. Oh. So when we went up there, he went off and did his snowboarding and I went off and skied, and then we'd meet up and eat. And then, because he's a lot braver, he's kind of an adrenaline junkie, sort of. And so I'm like, oh, I can't do that. I'm kind of a wimp. So, but it was fun.
That's cool. So you're
a
downhill skier. I am too, but it's been years. I've had my own cross country skis. They were boa or something, Norwegian skis. And then I had the Fisher. I don't even know if they make that for downhill skis anymore. Very fiberglassy kind of whatever, but I haven't skied in 40 years.
Yeah.
And I think it's fun.
It is fun.
Break something though now.
Exactly. That's like, as we get older, I'm afraid, like I used to do all kinds of stuff. And now I'm like, if I fall and break something, I can't go to work.
Oh,
and I have to go to work. So you can't do daredevil stuff.
Come on up, Tony.
Yeah.
Let's get Tony up here.
Yeah. Yeah, just riding my bicycle today, go with my daughter to get her hair cut. Oh my goodness. I used to just zip down the hills, right? Now, if you hit a big rock and I'm in shorts, I go flying, I'll probably break a leg. Yeah. Not just bruise my leg, break it. Oh. While we're waiting for Tony to come up, I'm just going to jot something down. Does it look like he might come up, Tony?
I don't see him. Huh. Tashi could come up. Huntress could come up.
I'm going to excuse myself for just a minute.
Okay. Did you set sort of some, I'm just curious, some guidelines in the beginning? Like
we did.
To talk about true crime. Did you even say that? Or?
Yeah, we had some guidelines in the beginning.
That's good. I mean, other people do that. I'm not mentioning other creators, but other people do that. They say, hey, if you have something to add about, these topics or whatever, come on up, right?
posting the link, but I don't know if they're seeing it.
Is it pinned at the top? You know, like. I wish I could just drink it regular like most people, but my tremors, they're not very good. So I use a straw and everything.
We should end it if nobody's going to come up because it's just going to linger. Okay.
Okay. Doesn't look like anybody wants to come up.
Aw.
That's
Okay. That's all right.
Yeah.
We'll do it again. And
Yeah.
so I think we're actually going to call it a night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Getting
That's
towards
okay.
Mrs. MAB's bedtime.
Yeah. That's true. I've got to get up at 5:30. So this was super,
Wow.
super fun.
I thought it was fun.
I'm sorry that we got
I
you
thought it
up
was
late.
great.
We were just didn't know what, again, you know, we'll get it down. But
Yeah.
here we
Yeah.
are. We did it. So
Yeah.
I had fun. It was
I
fun
had
to see
fun.
you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, you guys.
Yeah.
I won't. Don't worry. I won't be calling every cotton picking day. Oh, and I won't be calling during dinner.
It's okay. It's
Well,
okay.
we're just getting things figured out, and I'm going to look into the victims more, and you guys can just give me a call if you want to, and you want me back up. However you want.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it seems like a good time too, right? Sort of. I mean, it's up to you guys. It can be earlier, later, but it's not coinciding with other things.
Right. 7:30, 8 o'clock is a good time. So,
Okay.
but yeah, it's almost
Okay.
9. So it is time for,
Yeah.
time for my beauty sleep.
Yeah, I'm going to go have some supper. It's like almost
Oh.
9. I haven't eaten. I haven't even had lunch. I haven't.
Oh, that's supper in Washington?
I guess so. What you guys call it, dinner?
Dinner. I think supper's
Yeah,
an
it was
East Coast
supper
term.
when I lived in Indiana, but it's dinner out in California.
And it's funny because I called it dinner for the longest time, and then I just said supper. And then I'm from the Midwest, right? South Dakota, we call pop. But living here, it's soda. It's not even really soda pop.
Nope.
So
It's just soda.
I don't know. Anyway, maybe I'll blurt this out, prayers for the fire victims.
Absolutely.
In Hawaii, really scary. And anyone else that needs prayer, right?
There's some
Yes.
shady stuff going on with that fire that I will touch on in a later broadcast.
Okay. All right. You guys have a nice night. It was fun.
It was fun, Tina.
All right.
Bye. Bye,
Kisses.
chat.
Good
Thanks for
night,
coming
everybody.
over.
Have a wonderful night. We will see you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
right.
Thanks,
Bye.
chat, for coming.
Well, good job, Mrs. MAB.
Thanks,
Peace.
Mr. MAB. Peace.
Peace, chat. We'll see you next time. Love you guys. 219. That's a record. Sweet. See you, short legs. Yeah, Lori, I agree. They're trying to get the real estate from the locals. And that's not a very good way to do it. But I'll touch on that later, short legs. Good night, everybody.